Whoa, quiet here.
Finally, Zoom finally let me in. It does not have the zoomies for me today.
Usually, Tianan's already here. I wonder where he's at.
Every once in a while I beat him, but not often. You're not missing a meeting, are you?
I mean, I wasn't invited to a meeting. I don't know what that means, though. I mean, maybe there is one going on. Yeah, whatever. That's fine.
We'll see what comes up. We don't have much to chat about today, so if you'd like to chat about history APIs and that sort of stuff, happy to chat there.
I think that's about the only one I'm kind of curious on what other reviews and input and feedback we need to get to try to.
I'm in mid refactoring of Edge so that I can make this happen over there. So you open up a big can of worms on my side.
Oh, good. Oh, good. And then, yeah, I need to get back to doing the tag listing one as
Yeah.
well. I was weary of trying to have too many in-flight ones at once. But
I feel like the tag listing one, I could have knocked that one out a lot quicker.
I mean,
I already had all the data I needed.
I just figured that would be a little more controversial, and so I did the tag history one second. But maybe I'm just thinking about it wrong. Maybe that one's actually the easy one.
We shall see.
I'll see if I can get it updated.
You might go through all this effort getting the tag history one through, and then like a day later, we're just like, yeah, okay, let's go ahead and do the tag listing. Done.
Uh, I don't know. Hopefully, maybe. I would have thought that, hey, the fact that the tag history is done as an extension and whatever else would make it easier. And I don't know. We'll see.
Who knows? So I'm curious, Sajay and Sam, do either of you have challenges with Zoom today, or is it just me?
No, it opened up fine.
It
Okay,
opened fine for me, but
just me
also
then.
I only use Zoom for these calls. I don't use it for anything else.
Well, I only have these calls, so who knows there? We were just all observing that Jeff beat Tianon today, and we're wondering, hey, we'll see if Tianon even shows.
Sorry, I just kind of like caught the last bit. Is there a challenge in the tag history API?
Is there a what with the tag history API?
Is there any challenge in making progress with the tag history API? I thought it was pretty awesome
On
stuff.
my side, I'm just doing a refactor of Edge to make it possible on my side. I don't think anybody has said one way or another. My impression is that we're just looking for implementations right now.
Yeah, my only question was kind of what's sort of the next step on that? Is there more feedback we're waiting on? Is someone trying it? Is there concerns, questions, whatever, since it's kind of just sitting there now for a few weeks?
The idea is to push this out as a draft spec, right? And then we can have others implement it the same way, or are we?
It's sitting out there right now as a pull request, right? So if someone wants to implement it, that would be awesome. The more that implement it, the better. Get my screen sharing up so we're all on the same page here.
I don't mind pushing for implementation, at least if it's in a draft form. I'm not like I don't think we're gonna ask for like GA, but it would be good to kind of get it in some shape or form and commitment. Um, and then like we can work around it because it's an extension. We can maybe version it or something.
We will see how well Zoom does with this sharing today because it is acting all sorts of funny on me. Does it work for everybody else?
we can see a screen if that's what you're asking.
Okay. That's what I was wondering. Just because when I started to share the screen, the whole Zoom just freezes for like 10 seconds. So cool. And I hit another button and things freeze for another 10 seconds. I don't know if my voice is coming through or not.
Yeah, we hear you.
All right. So yeah, the tag history one we were chatting about here. Um, Jeff's got it proposed and got a little bit of feedback in there, I guess, but I think most of that might be outdated. So I think right now the big thing is just trying to get something implemented that we've got multiple implementations of effectively. That would be my assumption.
Well, that and then me working to squash my commits, which is probably going to take me a while.
It's the easy part. Alrighty. The other one that's kind of sitting back there in the queue looking for some reviews is the blob push location one, which everybody made me promise to rush right out the door so we didn't forget it. And then no one wanted to review it. How rude. So it is sitting out there. Give me 1 second as I'm working through the notes here. Any thoughts on this one? Comments, concerns? All right. You guys are gonna have to be chattier than that just because my Zoom keeps lagging on me. So I don't know if I'm lagging or if you're just being silent.
Oh, I feel like we've discussed this one every week that I've been here.
We have.
Um,
We just need reviews. That's
are
what
we all settled on the language now? Are we all
I
happy with it?
I think we're settled. We're gonna get the one that T and I were back and forth on was that one little bit where I wanted to put some reference back there to how to reformat the digest parameter when you have multiple arguments being passed. I think I just want to put that off into a separate PR. I don't think we're losing anything compared to what we have today. We don't define it today. So before we open up a new can of worms, I figure we'll close an old one. All right. So we got that. We chat a little bit about the tag history. So I think Jeff's got commits to squash. We got him. I'm working on my implementation on my side, refactoring things, opening up all kinds of cans of worms over there. And Sergey, I think you might have been the one that added on the merging of
Yeah,
profiles.
I'm representing Sasha Grunert here. So Sasha was working on a cap in Kubernetes. The idea of a cap that some security profiles, and some customers want very granular security profiles for their agents represented in the pod. So they want to say my specific agent want this and this restrictions on top of overall restrictions. And the only way we thought how to implement it best, so it will be good user semantic, is to define the ability to merge security profiles. So we've been thinking that system administrator will have default profile, and then whatever pod will define as their seccom profile will be applied on top of it. So we should have some merge semantic on profiles. And Sasha has a project already that he put together how to merge profiles. And then he suggested to donate it in Kubernetes. But I think that here is a better place. So I suggested to come here. And I think Sam also agreed that it may be a better place. So the question ultimately is, are you ready to hold this project? Will it be okay to take it? If not, why? And like, will it be okay for us to host it in Kubernetes, for instance? What would you think about it? Yeah, Sam.
I think there's actually two separate things. One is that there's a specification for what is the correct way to merge profiles together. And that's the thing that might be um, within the context of the runtime spec, or potentially its own spec if we don't think that it would fit into runtime spec. And then the second is a sort of reference canonical implementation. And I think right now, Sasha's uh, repo that's there is kind of both of those things at the same time. Whereas in the context of OCI, we would generally separate them. So like one is a spec and one is the implementation. Like we have the runtime spec and then run C as a separate thing. But I think the question here is, does that, like in context of specifying the correct way to merge these security profiles together, fit within the runtime spec or not?
Yeah, that's basically the question. And I don't know if you want to host both or only host a spec and then reference implementation somewhere else. I mean, I think whatever will work for me. And the biggest question, how to make it right and how to make sure that there is a central place how to merge it. And I thought I saw a few references to this proposal already. So I think people are interested in general, not only in Kubernetes.
Tianan, I'm going to ask you, since you're a runtime spec maintainer, and I think you're the only one on the call.
Uh, I think there was already a comment in thread that OCI is probably not the place for this, right?
From Giuseppe.
Yeah. I think the struggle with doing this in OCI is that you've got to get every single runtime on board and agreeing with the semantics, which I guess you're going to have with Kubernetes, but I guess you got a bigger hammer with Kubernetes. OCI doesn't have a hammer, we have a carrot.
We do. I mean, another alternative would be, if we don't think this fits within the scope of runtime spec, if we still think that it's appropriate for OCI, we could have a separate, like, security profiles spec.
It strikes me as the kind of thing that is worth having a spec for. I don't think I have a strong opinion on where that spec should live. I think seccom profiles as they exist today are actually bad. They're a thing we invented for this, and they're not good. And so that would be my concern, is building more on top of this already bad substrate. Like when we had that, shoot, I'm forgetting the details. There was a kernel vuln recently that we tried to write a seccomp profile to block. And the obvious way to write the seccomp profile doesn't work because of subtle bugs in different layers of the implementation. I don't think the seccomp profiles we have today are as expressive as they should be. So that's my concern, is building more things on top of that makes me worried because it further entrenches this frankly bad format that doesn't match anything the kernel itself does.
I mean, the
But
ultimate scenario we have is to be able to restrict some pods to do limited things. And then on top of it, we also want those restrictions to be working not a separate thing, but something that can be either validated against some default or better off merged with some default. So I don't know what else will work.
So I'm not a runtime maintainer, so I can't get into the details, but I'll throw out a couple options in there, which is one, OCI tends to be the trailing spec. So you could do the work in Kubernetes and then move it back up the chain into OCI later on. If OCI looks at it and says, okay, there are enough implementations that have this, now we're ready to standardize it. That's potentially a path that could go. The other option, if runtime says, no, we're not interested and we want to look at maybe doing another spec, is to start up a working group and get a couple of different projects that might be implementations, reference implementations of it, or people want to discuss the spec, get them all together in a working group and we can start one of those up for you under OCI so that you have a place to work from. So giving you a couple options just in case you don't get the warm fuzzies from the runtime spec side.
It's all good for me. I think I'm not against starting with Kubernetes or some like either like even like some external project. I just feel that it may be the right place from a get-go, but if you feel that it may not be that, I mean, we can definitely start at some other place and then come back with complete specification if you still will be interested.
Yeah, I mean, right now it sounds like you've heard from two of the runtime maintainers, Giuseppe and Tianon now, but doesn't mean that the others feel the same. So you might want to keep working on other maintainers if you think that it might make most sense over there. But yeah, getting an implementation out there, which I think you've got, getting some more buy-in from other runtimes out there that are implementing this. I think that's a direction that I would go. And then once you have that buy-in, I mean, the way we were just discussing some of the other stuff just a second ago, talking about like the tag history API is we're working on getting multiple implementations of it so we can say, look, other people, we've implemented this various places. We've all kind of worked out a little bit of the edge cases we think we were going to see. Now we're ready to put this into the spec. So I'm assuming runtime spec is probably working the same trailing spec direction where they're looking for implementations out there before they start to put anything new in the spec. That would be my assumption. And people can correct me if I'm wrong.
For the question of separating spec and implementation, is there some, I mean, do you have some templates or recommendations how to approach it so we can do it the right thing from the beginning from your experience? Or we just invent whatever we want and then try to merge?
So Sam's
Most of,
example was runtime spec and run C.
yeah, you can look at the way that we have the specs too. They're mostly, pros where we have written the expected behavior of the various parts that are interacting. So we have three specs in OCI today. There's the runtime spec, the image spec, and the distribution spec, and they all kind of follow that like descriptive pattern of, what is it supposed to do. The specs also tend to host some common, just like Go types, but not any logic, so that there's like one place to like know what the expected shape of the types are supposed to be. And then, yeah, like we have an implementation for the runtime spec, which is run C. We don't host an implementation for the distribution spec, but like that's fine too. So we could say, if we want a working group to come together and standardize what the behavior of this is going to be, the delivery of that could be in addition to the runtime spec, could be a separate spec, and then that reference implementation that Sasha already has could be a common thing that we host in OCI and then gets consumed by runtimes, but doesn't have to be.
Okay, it all makes sense. Thank you for feedback.
I think based on what Tianon was saying, either and what Brandon was saying, I think maybe the working group approach is a good idea. To like start working on like what should this spec be, and what should the behavior be? Because I don't know if I don't know if all of what's in Sasha's repo was kind of just Sasha, or if there was already discussion as to how the security profiles should be merged together, but that's a valuable thing to do. Brandon is clicking around and showing we have in our TOB repo, there's a template on how to propose a new working group, and there's examples of what existing working groups have done. So that would just go as a pull request to open that, and then the TOB would vote.
Okay, the next question is anybody on the call interested to join? Because I mean, we can propose, but if there is no interest to join right now, we can discuss it as part of a cap in Kubernetes, and then see if like Cryo will start implementing it, for instance, and then discuss with Containerd, and then come back and have something more tangible to discuss.
So that's going to be part of getting this approved from the TOB side. Is we're going to look for those proposed owners and stakeholders for you to get those in there. I've currently got a couple things sitting out there right now of proposals for like a reference spec and some other stuff that is not merging just because we're waiting for people to actually become proposed owners on those sides. So yes, you'll need to find some of those. I'll leave it open in case anybody here wants to jump in and say they want to be on that list.
I mean, I'll wear multiple hats here. I think it's important for us to have behavior that we can kind of know that runtimes are going to behave in the same way. Otherwise, if you're specifying security profiles and then the behavior is different depending on which runtime you use, that's a really easy way for you to accidentally create security vulnerabilities in your configuration. So I'm interested in this.
Did you reply as a Containerd maintainer and I need to discuss with Containerd, or?
I'm wearing all my hats when I say that I'm interested in this. So
Okay, I didn't recognize the hat. You have your video.
I don't physically have the hats with me.
That's a John Johnson thing to pull out the wizard hat.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, so my action items is I'll come back to Sasha and we will try to split into spec and implementation. We will continue discussion with Cryo, and he's in Cryo, so he will find maintainers there. I will discuss with Sam, and then we will send a proposal for working group here. I think those are steps for me. Sounds good?
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, I'm just sitting there frankly taking notes. Thank you for bringing this to the group here. We usually don't have much to talk about, so it's always nice to have somebody who wants to chat about something. Are there any other topics folks would like to chat about today? Oh, folks want to get that 30 minutes back early, I think. All right, well, great seeing everybody. Jeff, I'm sure you and I know that people are going to be working on those history APIs, so hopefully get some people making some progress over there. And yeah, Sergey, if you need any help getting that working group opened up over on the OCI TOB, feel free to reach out. We got several of us that go in that direction in the past. Several of us have various opinions on how they should work. But yeah, we're happy to work with you to get a space for you to get some collaboration over there, essentially.
Thank you.
And with that, unless anybody stops me, we'll go ahead and wrap this thing up early. Going once. Going twice. Sold. Unless Sajay is coming off mute says he wants to say something.
No, thank you.
No? Okay. All right, folks. Have a great rest of your week, and we will see you all next time. Cheers all.
I